It's always a longer journey than you think up to stage. We'll just slightly readjust for my tiny, tiny height. Yeah, how are you feeling in this morning of a Saturday in November?
Happy. Good.
Happy? Good for you. I'm tired. Because I've been doing a lot of different projects this year. And I got here and I saw Martin and I was like, why have I not brought any of the work with me that I did with a residency with MMU this summer? None of it, didn't bring any of it with me. So if you want to read that, you can't. I'm going to start with a silly poem that I wrote earlier this week while tired, in the hope that you'll be on the same page with me by the end of it. Why should I feel at home in you? Coraline or Coriolanus, conqueror with button eyelids, miracles are always tribal, the syllabus is blue. You silent ingenue, Ides of marching idols if you isolate the clue. I'm dying as a symbol, baby, that's 999 to you. You're mispronouncing Roman, don't tell me what to do. How many pixels is a crown? Don't tell me what to do. How will you fix the faults you've found? Don't tell me what to do. How will you prove that this is the truth? Don't tell me what to do. I'm only wheatfield welded, pleated hem, a proven woo. I begin where curtain ends, heavy as a lung full of you. You're full up. The inn is over-oxygenized, the stable is a TV screen, the hay is static, Coraline or Coriolanus. No, I'm dying as a symbol, baby. Mer or myth or moo. Don't tell me what to do. Woo! That is the last line, actually. Thank you for filling it in. I'm going to read some stuff from the first scene I published last year called Confession Tapes. I did a performance a while back. I sold all the last of them. I very furiously said, I'm never printing any of them again. That project is over. And then some people asked for it. And I needed the money, so I reprinted it. So I'm going to read some stuff from it. It's called Confession Tapes because... Have you ever been to Hull? Have you ever been asleep back to back in a single bed in Hull, in a hotel, at a literary festival with someone that you just broke up with? Have you then got out of that bed, gone to sit in the bath and written a whole book overnight, and then published it on the Monday because thinking it's not the one, and then had to tour it for a whole year? Have you ever done that? I'd recommend it. It's really good for the... this is called Limbo. This isn't public art anymore. This is intimacy made so you want to look away, unless you have the stomach for it. I wanted to hold your hand, but I was so far away, and I was distracted by the way your lower lip was surplus to your moon face. You articulate mime. Must you pale that way, like a slowly freezing pond? The problem of comfort and comforting is not what matters, but how we make a mattering of it. And if this is a kind of ending, let it be a kind one. This terrible birthday present, just a small ruck of ice shavings after an ungrateful slice of blade, gift wrapped in Mondays. I don't know if I believe myself anymore, or even if I recognize my voice when I replayed the tapes. Take your time. I don't want a thank you note. Which one? Oh, and then I'm going to do one that is much less short. It's called Tape 1 Side B, Refilling the Jacket. If this is not clear enough, I want you like you on chair and me knelt. I multitask the tweezing of a splinter from your thigh, like petroleum wing and pleather, like Gayakyu Juju Jimmy, like peach fuzz, like rogue river, like radio static, like beautiful laundrettes, like spaghetti mouth, like looking like the cream that got the cat who still believed it got the cream, like sugarines from pomegranates, like sideways jean hand in pocket. I wrote this in a different kind of bath. Hotel Royal, Victoriana past. When did I? Hadn't you last? This place, our annual learning drill. I said you are here in spirits, on the rocks. Before the night museums woke, animalis, animate, unanimous, unregret. This anniversary marionetted. We were simpler then, when liking in the face was iconoclastic. I want you menued. Specials off it. Aubergine and blushing rice, Ovaltine, pineapple slice. I spent a year like elevator music or half-rolled dice. Still, I'd rather be Boudica than Helen. Rather murderess than non-confessed. You can still leave. Propriety took the drive out of poetry. I want the words to keep you here. Then we can sleep all evening. You caught my hem upon your earring. You said that all our posturing was the worst of something great, but words are all that work in me. I never was good at knowing how much I wanted. Spoon fill me. I'm still more costumed, naked than clothed. Can you unhonest in life? So long the truth looks artifice upon the page. Call me distilled bottle, sage and lavender cupped in palm. I never perfumed my thoughts, only wore you out, kohlrabi heart. The saddest part is I could write a poem you would fall for. I know the sounds, the words you like, the flightless birds come after me when I leave this time. This whole book is worthless rhyme if I'm still unconfessed. So James Baldwin said, if you lie about that, then you lie about everything. So I love you like Giovanni's room, like guillotinous neck, like suffocates, like little ruins, like I would never blame you for liking old code better, like terrible memory for everything but things you said, like the only moment slept was when the tip of my nose was upon your arm. But I'm over it. We're going to read something new. All my folded over pages have unfolded themselves. Here we are. It's called Object Permanence, and it's a little bit long, but you'll be fine. Don't worry. I know it's Saturday morning, but all you've got to do is just sit there. All better now. Please, small as a webbed foot. Glue peeled from hand like chicken sinew. Skin dry as pencil shavings. Baby, eczema runs in us like your nose, but halving surely is the best way to know where smells are coming from. Like avocado, baby, plump as watermelon. Tacky, talcum, pat, pat, pat. Don't breathe in. All better now, baby. Waving in the train. Keep waving in the train. Stop saying we are on, we are in. Stop saying we are on, we are not balanced. We are not moving. We are not flat with our legs whirring like the bargeman on a pub sign. Like when you learnt your socks can come off. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wee, wee, wee. I can see you there. All better now. Your mother was an antennae that fuzzed all night. I don't like to ask who kept who awake, shunting tracks and hauling freight with a ceramic face. All better now. Carriage compartment. Curtains cinched like a belt that changed the colour of your stomach. Blue tinned meat leaf grainy. They're the really useful crew. Some will know the answer. Someone knows that returning to a place where you smoked up can make you heave again. Someone knows I don't like curtains anymore. Someone knows the fat controller's whistle is far too loud to justify nostalgia. All better now. Every sound is in your head and no smell is. Wipe your nose. Except that dark and tricky side tap. Bulged like burlap. I can't have you stop gapping the leaky leaky. plump as plumber's thumb, leaky, leaky. Leaf blower for a head when our father's still asking after me, leaky, leaky. Why do little boys like to wave on trains? Let's how respects the engines, be they diesel, be they steam, and no one can remember when there didn't used to be words. There's this place in the indent of my scalp where the ventouse hoovered me right out, and that patch of dry skin youthful lingers. And sometimes when I'm on a train with its lungs inverted, when I am hoping you are happy because I am a good person, and when I am hoping you are not because then I'm the problem, I have an ugly fantasy that I got it from you, you beautiful briny baby, both brung up leaky, leaky. Because aren't all jeans a little leaky, leaky? Aren't all trains a little leaky, leaky? Isn't time just a little leaky, leaky? All better now. To see you would be like watching myself become memoryless. It's better that we don't see the back of our heads. So that poem came out of the last time I saw my little brother when he was like 5. We watched Thomas the Tank Engine, and they've got a new song, and I wasn't into it. And I was like halfway through the episode, and I was like, something's wrong, what's going on? And they had this song that felt like very industrial and like very educational to the nature of trains. And I was like, what was the old song? What was the old song? And I kept looking it up and I couldn't find it anywhere. And it turns out it just used to be instrumental, but I thought they were old lyrics. And that made me mad, so I wrote a poem about it. I'm going to read one more from Confession Tapes. Yeah. A little short one. Is anyone else's mum like aggressively anti-tattoos? This is called the loneliness question. Loneliness is when you sever the paper hand to be your own doll. Don't worry, it is more like a habit than a real addiction. It was when you said, I used to be beautiful, I trusted myself. Someone will want this, someone will love all this. Now I know to truth. You were wrong to care about tattoos. This is much more permanent. Yeah, I'm gonna do this poem that's very related to that poem. It's called Birch. When your mother tells you you are no longer beautiful, she uses the words, used to be so. You used to be so. You used to be so like you. In the wings of Swan Lake, a ballerino's ruffled calf teems temporary as a piñata. Like a piñata, your body is always in contention with itself. Like a waxwork of a washerwoman holding a jug. It is difficult to keep up with you. How your hair sloughs off like the loosening of cygnet quills. How swans are flightless when molting. How a female swan is called a pen. A pen feels like brothers taking human form 15 minutes every evening. This is not this is not like you. Like you, she's not sure you're strong enough to hoist, to disjoint. But you like most when your brother shakes your hand in the abattoir. When you have just poached an unmarked royal swan, it is difficult. It is difficult to imagine. It is difficult to imagine you. It is difficult to imagine you hacking up something she loves. She loves like you, and now a butchered rendition of your father. The oddity of always being somehow him, diving perfectly but never silently into a pool. How you might rather be that than the portly girl trying to grapple the wet hair out of her mouth so she can breathe. When your mother tells you you used to be so beautiful, she might be trying to say, I'm so glad you still want to be a woman. I couldn't bear to raise someone who didn't want to be a woman. I want to say, this is what loving womanhood could look like. The perfect butchering of something else. I have no idea how I'm doing for time. Can you tell me?
Doing okay, but not long, much longer.
Can you give a specific? I was going to do a last poem.
That'd be fine.
That's the last poem is good? Okay, cool. This one is, remember the blood moon? I missed it. Because it was my friend's birthday and I was like thinking about stuff. So you want another tale then? It took codeine and 3 summers be to remember, hide and seek in the cabin of a coral reef, floundering like cutlery in Titanic drawers, pandemic in public toilet, ritually downing rescue remedy in botanical gardens, blood moon. It's easy to miss a lunar eclipse on your 21st, like a finger mark on your camera lens, or how left hands smudge pen's legacies. I could have had you if I'd given myself time to want. We arrived back like homing pigeons, unaddressed, addled up till 5 a.m. Not I. Only the drugged can keep up with my sober. Blood, moon. It's easy to miss a lunar eclipse on your 21st. After a Sabbath perusing old folios of muses like still lives inked, great swathes from bed to corn silk sink, nudes in amaranth, tangerine, taupe, hours to name the colours, another to trace the slope of loves you paid to paint, blood, moon. It's easy to miss a lunar eclipse on your 21st. Dark eyes still glance at my window. Is this enough for you, Nick? I don't know if you're relevant or if you're just my soonest regret. And if only he's irrelevant, more alone than I thought. I didn't think I'd have to without answer to who haunts worse than imagination. I paved a colour with a known pale hue. But who'd choose porcelain when paraffin burns blue? Blood, moon. It's easy to miss. So easy to miss. Thank you.